By now, you are probably quite aware that you cannot write a good business report if you don't know what is going on in the other sections. The conclusion section summarizes all that has been discussed in the findings and discussion section and paves the way for the recommendations to follow. Without knowing what was discussed in the discussion, it would be very difficult to draw a final conclusion and offer well-researched and logical recommendations for the reader to consider. To write a good conclusion section, follow these steps. Number 1, summarize the findings by scope. Highlight significant findings and their impact on the outcome of the research topic. Your conclusion for each section should lead the reader closer to the final conclusion at the end of the section. Number 2, don't merely restate all the findings. Don't waste the reader's time by making him read what he's already read in the previous section. Number 3, don't include new information. This will only confuse the reader and reduce your credibility as you did not discuss the data, nor provide evidence for your conclusion. Number 4, avoid being too personal. Don't include any personal comments or opinions or discuss the recommendations in this section. Here's an example of a conclusion for one scope area. Now, this is a report on bringing vegan burger into Ngee Ann Polytechnic. Vegan burger is a vegetarian, like pure vegetarian. There's no meat, no eggs, nothing related to meat in its fast food. And so here's what the conclusion will be. A significant number of students disliked eating vegetables. Many disliked vegetables primarily due to the strong taste of vegetables. Many respondents said that they would be agreeable to eat vegetables if they tasted better. Since vegan burger can offer 100% plant-based food options which resemble the taste of other foods, vegan burger's offerings are potentially acceptable to students. Note that from this example, the writer doesn't attempt to conclude the feasibility too early. Instead, he brings up vital issues like a large portion of students who don't like eating vegetables, which will have an impact on the long-term sustainability of vegan burger. The writer adds the main reason why students dislike vegetables, but he also highlights the opportunity for vegan burger to overcome the problem of taste. Being able to discuss the possible issues and opportunities for a business idea makes the conclusion well balanced. At the end of the conclusion of all the 3 scope areas, remember to close with a final statement that answers the purpose statement. Here's an example. Having studied and considered the scope areas and sub-issues above, the team assesses that it would be feasible for vegan burger to establish a presence in Ngee Ann Polytechnic. Now, is it possible to have a negative conclusion, to conclude that a business idea is not feasible? Yes, it's possible, and it is very important that should the research point in that direction, you should state it accordingly in the report. By not doing so, you may mislead the reader, and the consequences of a business idea that actually isn't feasible could make a big financial impact on your reader's bottom line and profits. Should your conclusion be negative, how will that impact your recommendations? Let's discuss that in the next video.
Created using Powtoon.